business. Check out our live cast. You could be a witness. What the swing of the batter or strike out at home plate. No missing the action.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Atlanta Women's Flag Football League, Week 1. Getting ready to get started here. I'm Bo McMichael with two great announcers going to be calling the game here today. We got Alex and DeAndre. Alex and DeAndre, how are you both doing today?
Doing good, Bo.
Hello there, doing great.
All right, man. Well, hey, no further ado, and you can hear how windy it is out there. When we give the good old-fashioned weather report, we say that it's a beautiful 62 degrees outside, but the wind's kicking in about 15 miles per hour northwest. We're live from Stockbridge High School. We'll do two games here today. The first game up is AOA, that's Athletes of Atlanta, versus the Rebels, just the Rebels on that part. So got a crew on site at Stockbridge, and we're down here in the old 58 Live studio enjoying the warm air and not enjoying the wind and a little cold-wise. Gentlemen, talk to me a little bit about the rules of the game. Alex, you had a chance to look at it. Give us some insight a little bit about the AWFFL.
Yeah, I did earlier, was looking through the rules, and we were talking about it, DeAndre and I. It seems almost as if it's like flag rugby more than flag football. There's a lot of contact involved
here. Oh, definitely brutal. They like blocking. Right. They said blocking is important in that situation.
One of the interesting things I saw was about blocking. They have blocking that's the legal zone is between the shoulders and the waist, so there's not going to be any high-low blocking. You have to be on your feet for all blocks. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out through the day.
What about you, DeAndre? Did you see anything kind of click out in your eyes a little bit when you were looking over the rules?
Oh yeah, especially the one with all players are eligible. You know, as a former lineman myself, I wish I was eligible in high school to go down for a pass. So that's great. I love that rule that every player is eligible to get a pass. So that's one stuck out to me because you know that's every lineman dream to get a pass.
Yeah, and to drop the pass as well. So that to have that idea of doing that. Well, nice little glory days. If I could play a little Bruce Springsteen right now for you, I'd give you the glory day marks on that part.
Appreciate it, Bo.
No problem at all. No problem at all. I'm here to entertain you. That's about it on that part. A couple of things, quick announcements real quick, and I want to give a special thanks to our sponsors today. We'll have a chance to talk about them the whole day. Hurro, and that's how it's pronounced. Hurro. They're getting ready for the coin toss up there, so we're definitely getting ready to start here. Compete Sports Diversity Council and Atkins Graphic and Apparel. Thank you for assisting the AWFFL. This is week 1 out of 5 regular season weeks. Topped off by May 1st, this Sunday, May 1st, they will be having a single elimination tournament live from Stockbridge, and we'll hopefully be able to cover a great deal of those games across the board here. Pretty interesting. Everybody gets to play 2 games. It's a 13-team league. They've already started early, 9:30 this morning. What were y'all doing at 9:30 this morning? DeAndre, were you up?
Yeah, I was uploading footage.
Yeah, we just finished uploading footage. Yeah, you had that Birmingham trip on that part. May 1st is the championship. They play 5 regular season weeks, so that's a total of 10 games, and they get a seeding out of that. And we're going to actually hopefully be able to see all the teams play. Today we get to see the Athletes of Atlanta versus Rebels. And the second game is, Alex, what's the second matchup?
Well, if you know, you know.
Okay, and we can play Who's on First all day for that one. That is truly their name. If you know, you know. That's awesome. They're playing who?
They're playing against the Atlanta Lady Warriors.
Okay, all right, so that should be very exciting. That's a 2:20 kickoff for that particular game. So should be a lot of fun across the boards. We get a chance. This is our 2:20 matchup. If you know, you know. And the Atlanta Lady Warriors. But it feels very like they could have done a very Washington Commander look with those colors for the Atlanta Lady Warriors. I like that. Not too bad. I appreciate y'all giving up your Sundays with me, watching a little basketball. I'll find a way to turn that on for y'all so y'all can get caught up on your tournament and your brackets. DeAndre, how did you fare this weekend so far?
I did pretty good. You know, I chose UNC to beat Baylor, so that was great for me. You know,
Look at you. You're dropping names. You're calling that. You know, that's pretty good that you did that. Alex, how about you? How did your brackets fare?
I'm not much of a March Madness guy myself.
That's good. That's the best way to stay out of it, right, in that situation. So I can understand that as well. It's somewhat enjoyable when they get started here. This is 8-woman league, so there will be 8 women on the field each time. It looks like we're going to get started here. We do have a couple of camera actions out here. The gray will be the AOA, and the green pants, or looks like the green pants will be the Rebels. Both of them have a light gray and a dark gray. So, gentlemen, I'll let y'all sit back and call the game. I'm going to do a little producing in the background and let y'all have a little fun here on a wonderful Sunday. First day of spring, ladies and gentlemen. Get those flowers ready, at least until it snows again. So, hang in there. All right, back over to you, gentlemen. Looks like it was second down on that part. We don't have yard markers. What do you have to do to get a first down here? Anybody? Do you see that in the notes?
Yeah, it looks like it's 20-yard markers each way. It's not like regular football, tackle football, where the down markers will move with the line of scrimmage, but you keep it at just the 20-yard marks each time. Once you get the 20 yards, you get a new first down. It's a new set of downs, but it's only to the next 20-yard marking, so the 40-yard line, the 40, the 20s. And so you could have a 1st and 3 depending on where you end up getting to on the last play.
Okay, very interesting on that part. You got to go ahead and get that achieved, and they can run and pass the ball. The one thing that they do from a centering position, the ball has to go through the legs. That is very important in that. You can't go over the shoulder and toss it, so becomes a live ball on that situation. To say that we can read those numbers is far and few between at this point. We apologize for that. There is no way with those what kind of – they got blue numbers on their back of their jerseys?
Looks like a couple of them do, yes, sir.
Yeah, oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, unless we zoom in real close, we're going to be able to see that. So we'll see what we can do by giving props out there. Shotgun formation. They look like they had to switch sides. We're going to start with a run.
Oh.
And Flags pulled after about a 2-yard gain there.
And you can see that from a replay perspective right here. Get that idea that, okay, hey, we're going to run the ball. We're definitely not going to try to pass in 15-mile-per-hour winds right now. I can definitely imagine that. 22-minute halves. They'll take a little timeout at halftime and then start back in. Most of the time these games last about 45 to an hour.
That was one of the things I was thinking about earlier when you mentioned the weather report, is how is that going to affect these teams?
Oh, it's definitely
throwing versus running the ball, how that's going to affect the game plan.
Look at the flags, Alex. Goodness gracious. I mean, couldn't imagine playing, trying to throw the ball in this atmosphere.
That O-line looked great. You know, first play, 5 yards carry, big O-line, big up front. That's what you love to see.
Well, she came in and grabbed. You talk about pulling that real quick, going into it could be a second down or third down at this point. I'm going to have to pay attention to that marking. Nice little reverse. Stay on the block. Uh-oh. She had to look down to see it. Yeah, that's quick. You got to pay attention to that one. What number was that?
Looked like 33.
I'm going to go with it, man. That's hey, you're going to drop a name, I'm going to throw the name out there. So that's even better. So 33 for AOA. There is no 33.
It look like 30. It's on the 4. Hair covering it. I see.
Don't make any excuses, DeAndre.
But she did a great job. She put her foot in the ground and got north. That's what you want to see. I wish I can teach these high school running backs how to do that these days. Because these kids.
When she planted, she definitely went upfield right there.
Right. She didn't see them waste time going north on east and west. She out north right now.
And now that we're past the 40-yard line, looks like we might have a first down here. So it should be first and about 18 for the athletes of Atlanta. Shotgun formation once again. We've had a pretty good snap so far.
Very nice snap.
Right, very.
Ball in the air and a dropped pass.
Got to catch those.
Let's see if we can slow that down here on this replay. See actually what broke down. Good blocking from the offensive line.
And you can see right away.
Oh, it was in the hands. Still, you touch it, you got to catch it.
Absolutely. But you can see as it's in the air right away, the wind is affecting those throws.
and definitely northwest because it's all going. They're going into the wind right now. Their back is definitely not with the wind on that part. I'll tell you one thing, it'll be interesting when Rebels get the ball, do they decide to sling it down the field real quick? Because they definitely have the wind and they're on their backs at this point.
Another really nice snap from the center here. Quarterback run,
Oh,
no flag pulled.
All the way
She's
down.
off.
Oh.
Can't quite get all the way for the next first down, but it's a really nice run there for the quarterback. Looks like that might be number 1.
Melissa Mel Brown, or Melissa Mel Brown.
Or maybe number 4, actually.
Boom. Oh, that's Boom Smith.
I think she was surprised she didn't get it pulled. She had to look down. It's like, no, I still got it. We're good. We're good. We can keep going.
Now, you said this is the first week of games, correct, Bo?
This is correct. They kicked off their season opener here, 9:30 this morning. Everybody gets 2 games, and they started right there at that time.
It'll be interesting to see through these first couple of games how much flag holding we have going on. I remember I used to coach a under-9 team with flag football, and one of the things with the little kids they used to do is they would hold onto the flag so they wouldn't get pulled, and that's obviously not going to be legal.
No. I'll tell you one thing. She's holding out like a loaf of bread, people.
Right.
I mean, I just try to figure I in the world of, I want to slap that ball right out of her hand on that part, but they got to go for the tag. I have to look in to get more information concerning that, and we haven't seen a flag yet by the referees. So it'll be definitely interesting what you said, Alex, to see how much holding's involved, see who actually, if there's turnovers, and who's the first team to either cause or commit a turnover.
Indeed. With them crossing the 40-yard line, I do believe that will give them first down. Nice little swing pass out there and a nice run after the catch.
Almost in the red zone.
Referee whistle. Looks like we have a timeout here from the Rebels. Try to slow the pace down a little bit. The athletes are moving the ball pretty well here. Last couple of plays have been for really big chunk yardage. So a timeout here might be what the Rebels need to try and slow things down.
They're doing a great job so far getting their athletes in space. That's the biggest thing right now. They're getting their athletes, let them make plays right now. So that's great. With a receiving core number 6, I want to say last kid with Carrie Bacon. You know, she made a great on the screen pad, quick screen, got the field, and got what she can get.
Very interesting to see. You know, they have moved down the field very quickly. Definitely on running plays, but the 2 biggest yardages, I would say that last pass that really got them down. It was a nice little screen pass out to the left.
And just like DeAndre said, you get your athletes out in space. Looks like they might have another one set up here.
You got twins to the left. And it's an interesting twins with the back behind it. It's very interesting, the different type of formations. They're going to run
Quarterback
that.
run.
Turf monster got it right there.
That's Mel Brown, your number 1 quarterback, Mel Brown.
You're just happy that you got that one right.
Yeah, finally.
Had an excellent shot of some of the numbers when we were in the timeout there. We saw a couple of the Rebels players. Number 2.0, Tequila OBJ Martin. Have to wonder if she might be a receiver when they flip to offensive side with a nickname like OBJ.
With that name, she got to be a receiver. Unless OBJ means something else.
It could be. It could be, you know.
Looks like we got number 21 right there, Tracy Dorsamont. Looks like she's been playing on the offensive line.
And as DeAndre reminded everybody, she's the center, and that she is actually still eligible. So we'll see where they place her in after getting the blocking taken care of.
And she will have some great snaps on Consider the Win.
Oh, nice.
Nice throw down the field and a score for the athletes of Atlanta.
That is nice indeed.
Cornisha Corn Sanders on the touchdown. 24. A great throw by Mel. Great throw. She put it where it had to be.
Cornisha Corn Sanders. It just goes by corn. I mean, that's what it is. So I'll tell you one thing. I'm not even going to try to crack a joke with that. I'm going to stay focused because I was trying to get me some ears involved, corn of ear, a stock, you know, but I'm like, no, I just enjoyed that they gave us nicknames. We will see that replay here after this 2-point conversion. You can kick it as well. How many points is this? A touchdown to extra points. We see that on the rule sheet.
I'm not seeing that.
I did not see that either.
Okay.
But she scored.
But they're able to get it in for the 2-point conversion. And the athletes of Atlanta are going to take an 8-0 lead here early in the first half.
By watching the formations, everything, it can't give me that feel of arena football as well. You know, watching a different formation like that, that's the same with arena football, 4 offensive linemen. And like I said, the receivers always in motion like that, different formations. So I got arena football feel also out here too.
We'll watch that instant replay real quick.
Great blocking by the O-line, perfect pocket. It don't get no better than that.
No, it does not. Not in that situation.
She just had to step up and make a great throw, and she did it.
And tiptoed it all the way in.
A nice combination route there on the outside with the scissor route where they had the inside receiver go outside receiver come inside, and the corner had to make a decision. Corner stayed to the outside, and they were able to thread the needle right over the safety's head. Nice
right
throw.
over it. Very nice. Let's see how the Rebels respond.
Motion.
Rebels into a shotgun formation as well.
Oh, goodness.
Nice sling pass outside.
Alex,
Finally,
tell me what you think of this right here. This is, I mean, they did no blocking up front. All 3 released. It's like a what would be the best? It's a screen pass with that whole line going down there to block.
just an absolute jailbreak screen.
Right.
But
It is. And they all let them loose. And I almost think to a point that if that would have worked out to their advantage and she would have cut back to the center of the field, they created a wall.
That's what I think
The
so
old
as
tunnel
well.
screen type thought process.
23 to quarterback. Cinnabons.
Right. Alex, tell DeAndre he's talking out loud again. Okay. His brain's trying to remember these numbers. It's adorable. So they moved up all the way to right around the 42-yard line. They are already in AOA's field.
Incomplete pass there. And just like before, we said the wind right away is taking that one. That looked like number 1, Roski Saunders on the attempted catch there, but couldn't quite pull it in. And to your point earlier, Bo, Rebels right out of the gate just taking advantage of the wind going their direction.
You would
and just
have
slinging
to.
it around.
Yeah, I mean they have. They're not even worried about it. She's almost, I would say, what, 9 yards back? It feels like 8 yards.
Right.
I give them credit on snapping it 8 yards deep. Mine would roll back there.
Quick rush and nearly intercepted there from the athletes, but it goes right through the hands. Almost a big play on defense from the athletes of Atlanta. Couldn't quite secure the interception.
She broke on it, though, and she was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and give it my best shot. 8-0. You know, when we talk about it a little bit, I will bring up, not mistaken, we got some score-wise. Now, this is Athletes of Atlanta's second game. They played their first game right before this game. They played against the X Factor. Don't know necessarily the outcome of that game just yet.
We're going to have an incomplete pass there on the 3rd down play. A bit of a high snap. And with the aggressive rush from the Athletes of Atlanta, she just didn't have any time to really look down the field. Had to almost just get rid of it right there. And it's going to bring up a 4th down, I believe.
But scoring-wise, this today, after this play, I'll go over a little bit with you of how realistically what the teams have been scoring like. Oh, incomplete again. Change over on downs?
Yes, sir.
I believe so.
This is when we see if we've actually counted the numbers correctly. That's even better. Yes, it definitely look like. So the first game of the day, the X Factor took a 0 against Apocalypse, 39-0. Apocalypse won that particular game. Then you had a nail biter on the grass field, 13-12. The Arsenal of Atlanta took down Perfect Timing. I do enjoy these names.
Me too.
Apocalypse ended their night or their day at 2-0 after they took down the Rebels 6-0. We get to this is the second game for the Rebels as well. So Rebels definitely looking for their first win of the season, losing to Apocalypse, which seems like it would be a good game in the sense that based on that Apocalypse destroyed the X Factor.
Looks like we got a quarterback change.
Yes, we do.
And the throw there, first time we've seen a throw that went to an eligible offensive lineman. Got to like that, DeAndre.
Love it, love it.
Dreams do come true. Look, and she was the center. That's 21, wasn't it?
You know, I wish I could snap it and catch it. You know, I wish I could do it all like that too. So
No, you can't. No, but she can. You can't.
I want to do. They got a men's league for us men.
No, they do. They always have men's leagues, but I'm way too old to be playing flag football on that part. So I watch sometimes. I spend a lot of time watching semi-pro and watching these gentlemen sitting at 40 years of age going out there. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Me being 47, nah. Nope.
I read through the rules. It said got people 50 years old out here also on the teams for the ladies as well. So
Yeah, but one thing I've learned in my life, I'm not putting the ladies' date of birth out there. No. I've been married for 10 plus years for a reason. Okay, I'm not getting myself in trouble. Here we go.
Incomplete pass there from the athletes. Looked like the Rebels were sitting in a bit of a cover 2 shell. Dropped the safeties back and brought the corners up into the flat area. It's going to be interesting to see how they scheme things defensively as the games go on. Early on, the athletes of Atlanta on defense were bringing a heavy rush to get pressure in the face of the quarterback right away.
Against the Rebels?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like that really kind of changed their momentum to begin with. I love their play calls. They got them on their wrist. That's wonderful to be able to do that. But they haven't ran this series, so I feel like they've come out and tried a couple of different things, meaning AOA in this second series of the game for them on offense.
Rebels looking like they're bringing a 3-person rush.
So what it means, if that ball hits the ground, it's dead. Okay.
Classic 7-on-7 rules, of course.
well, game of football, especially high school game, a lot of bad snaps, a lot of plays would be dead right then and there with this high school
If that
football.
was the case, yeah. That would be a given at that point. Change over on downs.
That looked like we had number 13, Roe Roberts, was the quarterback for the athletes of Atlanta on that last series.
That is a big stop by the Rebels. Rebels down 8-0 here in the first half. Live from Stockbridge High School, I'm Bo McMichael with DeAndre Wise and Alex. Alex, pronounce your last name so I can kill it one time.
Schaefer.
Schaefer, that's what I thought, but I was going to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yes,
with
sir.
Alex Schaefer. Alex and DeAndre's debut here on the Score 58 Network. Glad to have them on board, and hopefully many more games to come. DeAndre, thanks for filming Birmingham last night. That was a nice little drive for you, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, no problem.
Looks like we're going to have the athletes punt this one away here.
Oh,
And ball on the ground is going to be a dead ball there, even on the punt. So unable to punt it away and flip the field, and so that's going to give the Rebels really good field position here as they take back over.
looked like the punter was your center as well.
Might have been, yes, sir.
She do it all, you know. She considered Division I athlete right now.
Well,
you know, can do it all.
And the best is she doesn't have a nickname, so that just makes me nervous. Okay, on that part. Athletes of Atlanta number 21 was going back for the punt, and the snap could not get to her.
When she caught a pass, punt the ball, snap the ball, block, she does it all for him.
Did we notice who called that timeout?
I didn't catch who called it.
I'm going to blame and say it's Athletes of Atlanta. I feel like they needed a timeout anyway, so I'm going to give it to them.
I
on that end.
probably would have done the same in that situation there. So we had ourselves a 39-0 game earlier in the day. Is that right?
Yes, it was the first game of the it went 39-0. We've had a 28-0 matchup. Rest of them been fairly close. The Stallions played the Arsenals to a 6-0 win. A win, but it's very interesting to find out what team really gets going offensively because this is week one. They've been practicing. You can see that all over social media and them getting started on that part. But it's very interesting to see what happens. This is a great
Very wide spread
it is.
here for the Rebels.
Trips to the right, trips to the left.
Only the center in is the offensive lineman. and they're going to have just a quarterback draw.
Which would make sense.
Number 23, Tierra Cinnabons Bagby.
Now, either one of you ever watched 8-man football, 9-man football?
No, sir.
No, okay.
I have not.
Okay, I had an opportunity early 2010, 12, and I think it's 8-man, not 9-man, but I think it's 8-man football. Their most productive is running the ball. You would think passing, but they would spread them out just like this and run it. And you talk 300 yards a game easily. They'd spread them out and see what happens on that part. Who had the timeout on this one? Rebels?
I believe so.
Okay, great. Go ahead, man.
And it makes sense. You know, you split everybody out wide to the trips formations on left and right. You have to go out and honor those and cover
if you
them.
don't, you know they're going to swing that ball out.
Absolutely. And so then when you leave everybody out of the middle of the field, then you have a wide open lane for a quarterback to run. If you've got somebody that's got some feet,
you definitely. So yeah, there is somebody named Feet, nicknamed Feet too. By the way, who is it? I got
Jaquita Feet Gamble, 007.
Yeah, 007. Did she play for the Rebels?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we'll have to see if that was her running it. So.
Looks like a quarterback in. We've got a quarterback change for the Rebels as well. This is number 88, Alicia A-Dub Wyatt. And that pass is going to be incomplete off the hands. That's one that you got to make.
Well, right here, looking at this, you can tell that they're not blocking. They go straight off because the center turned around and let free. I mean, maybe that's why they're getting back 8 yards as it is, 8 to 10 yards. I'm like, do we not have to count Mississippi's? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, you know?
Backyard football.
Oh, man, quarterback blitz, 1 quarterback blitz per down. Oh, it was always timing when you were going to pull that one off.
Now we've got 2-person rush here coming from the Athletes of Atlanta with only 1 to block.
And she's not going to block. Oh, yep, she does.
Tries to get hands on.
Oh.
Pass down the field, and it's caught. And they're going to get a first down near the 10-yard line into the red zone.
What number? Is that OBJ?
That is number, I believe that was number 2, Brianna Bree Banks. Be nasty on the back of the jersey there, number 2. Be nasty. And Be Nasty was the one that had the first catch of the game for the Rebels, the swing pass and down the sideline on that screen. And so it definitely seems like they're trying to isolate Be Nasty out there on the outside and get the ball into her hands.
What number is Be Nasty?
Number 2. I don't see the nickname on there as Be Nasty.
Yeah. No, it's Bree.
Bree Banks.
Yeah. I'm looking for Be Nasty, and I am scanning, wanting to give her props out there, and I'm like, it just says Bree is her nickname. But I like Be Nasty. You know, that's not bad at all.
Bit of a heavier formation here up front from the Rebels as they get into the red zone down to about the 6-yard line. See if they're going to try and punch it in on the run here.
Got to go to the right. It'd be a sweep. Get to the corner and block them off.
Silly.
There we go with the toss. Good call.
He caught it, Bo.
First flag of the day.
Missed a signal there, but it is on the Rebels. And they're going to mark it off. Looks like about a 5-yard penalty, so that'll drop them back to the 11-yard line. They're still staying tight here with this tight formation. Everybody bunched up. We'll see if they try to go back to that same sweep.
I would be begging going to the right. Just short side of the field. Toss pitch.
To the left. Oh. Get a couple blocks, but flag didn't come off. She slowed down a little bit there, thinking that the flag came off.
All the way down to about the 7-yard line.
And the cutback lane was there for her.
Listen to you. You said cut back. That's all you were hearing. The football player in you was just coming out. Just cut back. Got to have eyes all over the place.
You have to. The vision. You know,
who was the running back?
I think that was number 20, but I'm not seeing a number 20 on our roster page here.
It do look like 20.
If you get her nickname.
It's number 20.
Do we see the nickname? Or they just have
TJ.
TJ.
Is the nickname.
And we do not have a TJ on the roster. We apologize, TJ, for not giving you props out there.
So after the run, it did result in a penalty on the Rebels, so that's going to back them up even further. It's going to create a first and goal from about the 18-yard line now. Drop back to pass. That one's through the hands and nearly intercepted, but they were unable to come away with that one on the overthrow and the tip.
I love how the quarterback sitting in the pike with that pressure still coming and still make the throw, you know.
Looks like B Nasty's coming back into the game. Wonder if they may try and take a deep shot to B Nasty down the sideline.
Yeah, the next game, DeAndre, you're going to be in charge of the scoreboard and flags. I'll teach you how to do that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this way past my brain power. I got touching too many buttons.
They're going to be nasty.
And we do have a deep shot. But a little bit of miscommunication looks like it's on the overthrow. B Nasty looked like she might have been running a post. And who was that? A-Dub there threw it almost like they were going for the fade. So a little bit of miscommunication there results in an incomplete pass for the Rebels, and I believe that's going to bring up the 3rd down. And before that, we are going to have a timeout here called by the Athletes of Atlanta. So a few penalties there right back to back to back is going to push the Rebels back. They had the ball down at the 6, I believe, with perfect opportunity to come away with some points down here in the red zone, but just shooting themselves in the foot, backing themselves up with a couple of penalties right in a row and a couple of incomplete passes is going to bring up a 3rd and quite long here on this 3rd and goal.
And I think any time when you start shortening the field, you start limiting your play calls and what you're able to actually always joke and hate when my team gets inside the 10-yard line and they don't score. I'm like, everything's condensed and you can't spread things out. And in this situation right now, you're limited of what you can actually pull off and do at this point.
Absolutely, and especially compared to regular tackle football where sometimes you can get down there in those short yardage situations, just give it to your power back and he can run people over. Well, in this, you've got the flag, so all you really got to do is reach a hand in there and pull the flag, and that eliminates everything.
It becomes scheming at that point. A lot of protection.
Good defense on the back end there as they're able to swipe that one away.
Yep, no flag.
And the incompletion is going to bring up a 4th down.
Look like number 10.
They got those numbers that you would think that possibly.
Dime right. Yes, sir. Dime right. That's what that is.
I didn't know where you're going with that. I got very nervous all of a sudden. I took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, he's saying dime right. I was like, thought you were agreeing with me for something all of a sudden. I was like, goodness gracious. All right, change over on down.
Actually looks like, yeah, that was a 4th down play there where they were trying to score, and they were not able to come away with points. So we got ourselves an 8-0 game still here after the Rebels threatened, but were unable to get it in the end zone.
Curious to see what AOA go back to. We go back to the running game, go back to what they did the first series, go back to what they did their second series. So
it looks like Mel Brown, number 1, is back in the game at quarterback for the Athletes. Doing a little bit of conducting back there, making sure everybody's in the right position.
By looking at the O-line and the fullback, looks like I'll run the ball right at them on that three-man front.
Ball's on the ground.
Gosh. So after the first series where we had some really good-looking snaps all the way through, the Athletes struggling a little bit here to get the snaps completed.
Fatigue, like I said, it's week 1. Fatigue, everything like that kicks in.
Well, I think this is both teams' second game. So they had their first game on that part, so it's coming out, and you're exactly right from a conditioning perspective, but also to the point of what they're actually able to accomplish right now.
I wonder, with the games being the time that they are, I wonder if the Athletes, having had their game immediately before this, if that's a bit of a disadvantage because they just got done playing, or if it is an advantage because they are kind of in that sweet spot where they've got the juices flowing, they're in the moment, and they're in the momentum, and they've got that going for them.
I agree. Rebels played at 10:40, so they played. Oh goodness! Oh, nice little reverse.
And she's still on her feet, unable to
don't run backwards.
Run the flag.
Don't run backwards. Up the field.
I'm getting like you now, Bo. Tuck the football. That's just a pet peeve right now. Tuck the football, please.
I want to swat the ball. But maybe there isn't a fumble. Maybe the ball's dead if it hits I don't know. So I'm guessing that on that part right now looks like a possible halftime. We're at a halftime mark. I'm going to go with that at this point, mainly from a clock perspective. We're going to stop take a moment, and gather ourselves, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was halftime. They'll be flipping the field based on hopefully my intelligence level, and I am correct in understanding this. It is an 8-0 matchup. I'll put 3 timeouts out there. I always loves to reset it to 5 just to bring a little enjoyment and stress. There are 2 halves, 22 minutes for each, and yep, they are going to flip it. That's great. I got Alex and DeAndre on the call. Gentlemen, take it away. Talk to me a little bit about this first half.
Well, the Rebels had a shot there at the end of the half to try and punch one in and try to tie this thing up, but they had a couple of penalties right in a row, backed them up, and then they were just unable to really get it in there. So that's where we're at now with an 8-0 lead for the Athletes of Atlanta. A quick strike there at the beginning off the first series, and both teams have looked good for being this early in the season.
And there are no fumbles. We were informed by our person on the site, Jennifer Colbert, who's taking photography pictures today. And if there are no fumbles, the ball is dead if it comes out or it's a bad snap.
And like you said, Alex, the Rebels, like you said, they're playing a pretty good game. They just can't execute right now. You know, they can't finish drives. The biggest thing is finish drive. They moving the ball on AOA, but like I said, the biggest thing with them, got to finish the drive. So eager to see what the second half will look like for them to finish the drive. I think once they start finishing drive, they can do something with them.
Now, with that in mind, the flip of the wind, whose favor is it at this point? Alex, do you feel like it favors the Rebels or AOA?
I'm not sure because we talked about it earlier on.
We think it'd be the other one.
Where the Rebels might have had a little bit of an advantage throwing the ball down the field, but pretty much any time the ball has been up in the air, the wind has just been playing tricks with it. And so it's hard to tell who's really going to have an advantage. Doesn't look like they flipped the field, actually, though.
Definitely
looks like
doesn't.
the Rebels are going to be going the same direction.
And they stay that same. You're exactly right.
Got this widespread. Once again, looks like a 2-person rush here. And they do indeed bring 2. Quickly sling it out there. Oh, nice handle there on the outside. A quick bobble, but they were able to bring it back in. That's number 1, Roski Saunders. Couple of throws her way so far today for the Rebels. And a really nice catch there on the outside after the initial bobble.
I believe if she would have caught that clean, she'll still be running.
And so after that, it's going to be a first down for the Rebels as they push it up to about the 50-yard line.
I love this formation. I love it.
For those people that have just joined us, we're live here from Stockbridge High School. Glad to have everybody with us. This is opening regular season for the AWFFL. That's the Atlanta Women's Flag Football League United, located here in Georgia. Stockbridge High School housing all 5 weeks of this 13-team league. Each team will play 2 games every week, and somebody stop that horn from beeping. That's all I'm saying. But, if I was a player, I'd be like, goodness gracious on that part. But very exciting. We have Atlanta, Athletes of Atlanta, taking on the Rebels here in the second half.
In space.
Got to block. Get back up. Good move. All the way down to about the 40-yard line.
Looks like they're going to spot it at the 41, so not quite enough for the first down, but a nice catch.
Look at that
and
dance.
Run.
You got that right. You can't catch me. Maybe she needs to change her name.
As we see this on the replay over here, something I like seeing is the receivers from the other side of the field coming all the way across the field, sprinting hard, trying to go over there and get into the action as well.
They did a great job blocking on the perimeter right there.
After she even fell down and got back up.
We've got at quarterback, looks like number 88, Alicia A-Dub Wyatt for the Rebels. Snapping the ball to her is 007, Jaquita Feet Gamble. And they've been pretty nice snaps here so far in the second half.
A-Dub.
Same formation, quarterback run. A-Dub has got herself a first down and then some, all the way down to about the 30-yard line. So we talked about it earlier. They did indeed go ahead and just spread them all out, try and get a vacancy in the middle of the field, and then A-Dub just takes off with it up the middle of the field. Nice little play for a first down for the Rebels. And like DeAndre said, they are moving the ball here. We'll just see if they are able to execute now that they're getting closer to the red zone and actually punch this one in here at the end.
Finish the drive. That's the main thing, finishing the drive. And also, like you said, they losing about 10 yards right now just because the quarterback with 8 yards back.
Deep set for the snap.
They're doing that based on what we just talked about.
Right.
They're giving that option. There's the
Center.
perfect.
Big throw to 007 there.
Nice.
That's what they call her feet. That's why they call her feet.
All right, look at this. This is what we've been talking about, and this is the play right here. This is great.
As a former defensive coach, you
gotta sit.
You hate to see this.
But that's the whole. I mean, that's what it's written up for, right there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of it.
DeAndre and I were speaking before the game about that rule with everybody is eligible, and I just offense gets all of the advantages anyway.
Listen to you,
and then,
No, but I mean, it's the old stay home.
Absolutely.
One of the because are you going to be can you sprint 10 yards and get that flag from that quarterback? She's going to run it this time. Nope. Oh.
Incomplete pass is probably what they're going to call.
Gus Malzahn's own offense, when he sidearm it, have it run it with quarterback on the RPO type.
Had them guessing.
But just going back to that last play with the pass to the center, it's as the season develops over the next 5 weeks, we'll see how those schemes develop because it's so hard to defend something like that when everyone is expecting just to snap and block, and then all of a sudden you've got the center running down the middle of the field wide open, and you can just dump it right off to her.
Right. So that can make a center very dangerous in real football,
Absolutely.
Especially if a coach gave me that type of opportunity.
Another little bit of RPO there, and they're going to get her stopped down.
Twisted that ankle.
Number one.
Number one, Roski Sanders again.
Roski. Red zone. Can they finish the drive, Alex? Can they finish the drive? That's the biggest thing.
We'll see because they've been moving it pretty well. But like Bo said before in the first half, once you get down here in this situation, the field condenses and your playbook shortens. You can't call as many different plays as you wanted to.
And you got that the Mike linebacker in that situation. So it's definitely interesting to see if they try that center. Now they've definitely changed up the formation. Brought in 2 blocking backs.
Mm-hmm. Gone to a bit of a 2-by-2 set here. Still in that very deep set on the shotgun. Big rush and swatted down there as she tries to get rid of it. Looked like she was trying to throw it up to one of those up backs there and get a little bit of screen action going, but they got the pressure right in her face right away and she wasn't able to do anything.
Nice little sidearm.
Looking at top of the screen, like you say, the DB giving what 10-yard cushion. Just throw the curl and let playmaker make a play. It's wide open.
Still hard. Still in that wind, everything that you have they are doing short passes. In that situation.
So believe this is going to be second down here for the Rebels off of the incomplete pass. Second and goal from the 13, maybe 14-yard line. Back to that twin set. Deep shot into the end zone.
Did you catch it?
Yep.
Looking for the signal, and that's a touchdown for the Rebels. So a big strike there from A-Dub into the end zone on that side of the field. Looks like it might have been B Nasty over there, number 2, making the catch. So after a couple big catches earlier in the first half, we've got a touchdown pass from A-Dub to B Nasty.
You're doing a great job with the nicknames. you are working it overtime, Alex, on the nicknames. That is hands down right there.
But like I said, I think that matchup been there. She's been doing a great job all day. Just the biggest thing, they just couldn't execute and they finally got in the end zone. But that matchup they've been throwing to her all day, it's been there.
It looks like they're going to be going for the 2-point conversion here back at the 10. Now, I wonder if this might actually be like 7-on-7 rules where it's a 1-point conversion from the
1 point is from the 3-yard line.
And then it's a 2 from the 10. So they're going for the 2-point conversion here to try to take the lead. Scramble, gets away. See if she gets in, and it's going to be close.
Did she get it?
It's going to be dependent on where they end up spotting it, where they're saying that the flag was pulled. Looks like the flag might have been pulled short. No signal on the touchdown, so I think that they're going to say that she was not in on that one.
Great effort. She had a great effort. She tried to get to the pylon, got a man down.
All right, so is it 7 that first 2-point conversion, was it on the 3-yard line?
I believe so. So I think
too.
it might actually be a 7-6.
Yes, because she ran it in, right?
Yes.
She ran it right up the middle.
I think they were going for it at that point to beat them in the lead and not just tie it up.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like number 21 is down, the center for AOA, Tracy.
but she's
That
up
wind is just a
and
push.
making it off the field okay. So hope for the best, obviously, for all of the athletes out here.
Coming out of the second half, this will be AOA's first possession coming out of the second half. Once again, I'm Bo McMichael with Alex Schaefer and DeAndre Wise on the Score 58 Network, bringing you flag football week 1 here on the 8-woman league, the Atlanta Women's Flag Football League.
Well, we talked about it before, DeAndre. It was all a matter of whether the Rebels could finish, and they finished right there with a big pass from A-Dub to B Nasty for the score, and got themselves right back into this game. 7-6 now. We see if they can do the same on defense, get themselves a big stop.
Like you said, they've been doing a good job on defense as well. Just that first drive with the first series of the game, they gave up a touchdown. Besides that, they've been doing a very good job. So let's see if AO can get some start going back again.
And they haven't, other than that first series at the beginning of the game. They really haven't had anything that's going.
Looks like we got number 1 Mel back in.
Oh, a
and
nice
handoff,
little razzle-dazzle.
and it's going to be about a 2-yard gain there for the running back for AOA.
What do you think about this one, DeAndre? Look at this little replay right here.
Great block.
She went straight to the ground on that one.
She got a great punch, you know.
Yeah.
I need to ask her what she do for that punch, because I need to get some linemen get that same punch.
She won't give no secrets.
What number was she? 81, I want to say. Is it?
Could be that or 51. 81. Yep. 7-6 here in the second half. We have another game followed here at 2:20. Stay with us.
Able to avoid the sack there. She's going to take off.
Oh.
Get herself a big gain. No flag pulled off there until she gets to about the 50. They had a chance to stop her there after a short gain, but Melise Mel Brown was able to get away from it, avoid the flag being ripped off, and get up to the 50-yard line, and I believe that's going to make it a first down for AOA.
She was surprised she broke the tackle.
She did. When they got to that 50-yard line, so now they only they don't have 20 yards to go for the first down now. It's only 9 yards.
That's right.
So explain that again for those people that have just joined us here. Talk to us a little bit about how the field's broken down, Alex.
So the field is broken down in 20-yard segments, at the 20, at the 40, the following 40, and then the 20 on the other side. Those are the first down markers, and they don't ever move. So once you cross that marker, you get a new set of downs, but you have to make it to the next 20-yard marker in order to get your first down, and it doesn't ever move. So when you cross that, like we said here, when you cross that 40 and make it to the 50, your new set of downs is only going to be a first and 10 rather than a first and 20, even though typically you're looking at 20 yards in order to gain a first down.
There'll be a test at the end, ladies and gentlemen, for those people taking notes. We appreciate that because it's definitely new for us on that, but it gives you a whole idea when you're sitting up and when there is not going to be a test, DeAndre, relax. I can hear the air leaving the room, man. He's like, man, that's how you get your paycheck if you pass the test right there. That's the only way to get that part. So. But it definitely gives you a whole idea of where to go offensively and what you're looking for in general. So, and we're good. It's just good old-fashioned technology.
And you can hear that wind now really gusting in there strong. If it's not 15 or more at this point.
We're supposed to have on Tuesday evening here in Georgia more rain or more bad weather coming through, hurricane force winds coming across. So other than that, 25, 30 mile per hour winds.
Another fake on the motion, swing pass out there to the back. No flag pulled once again, and that's going to get them up to about the 43-yard line, it looked like, but before they were able to get the flag pulled.
Second down and 3?
Yes, sir.
I'm catching on. Catching on this part.
I love the fake and the pass the other way. Great misdirection. Got them going one way and throw it back the other way.
Now the Rebels, that's something that I've noticed there. They've had a hard time this drive so far pulling the flag. So we'll see if that ends up biting them because they've had a couple of opportunities to have. They had her there at the line of scrimmage at the 50 there where they could have had the flag pulled and were unable to do so, ended up giving up an extra 5 yards. And so those things add up over time. Bit of a wobbly snap, but she's able to handle it. Thrown and incomplete there. Looked like they would have been close to a first down if they could have completed it right at the 40-yard line, but the incompletion is going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for AOA.
I think she would have caught that. She'd probably still be running as well. She had a step on the defender.
Yep.
Once again, glad to have everybody with us here on social media networks. We're live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Vimeo. You can download it on your Android, smart TV, Amazon, Roku. Download Vimeo, be able to watch all these flag footballs live on your gigantic TV that's mounted to your wall.
Widespread there.
Double
Double
pass.
pass.
Oh, yes.
Oh, great play.
Nearly intercepted, but
Is that
B
B
Nasty
Nasty?
looks like B Nasty was in perfect position to make that play there.
Let's look at his skin. We all saw the double pass happening. She swings it out there. Great job by the
Great
DB.
throw.
Track the ball. She tracked the ball perfect.
It was a great throw there too as well.
Just a great play by the defender.
Mm-hmm.
That textbook. That all the young DBs out there playing. That's how you play.
So this is going to be 4th and 5 for AOA. Looks like they're lined up back in that same formation here. 2 by 2 outside, but they do have one split wide and deep to the left. Last time they did this on the last play, they threw it out there for a
Got a
double
new
pass to
quarterback in
Mel.
as well.
Scramble, throws.
No, too high.
Incomplete on the throw, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Rebels.
Robles has a chance to take the lead now.
I tell you, if you would have told me you had it 2nd down and 3 and you couldn't get a first down, that's 2nd down and 3, and you made that much yardage, it's just one of those. That's you start shaking your head as a coach, just looking at that going, I mean, and I know it's hard. I know when it's condensed and what you're trying to do. They went deep twice, had a dropped pass, and then last one being a drop pass, change over on downs.
Rebels coming back out here, A-Dub in at quarterback again.
Their favorite formation look like.
Back into that 3 by 3. Swings it out there to the left and incomplete, unable to make the catch. Nice break there by the DB, nearly got in the way of it, and I wonder if that might have disrupted the concentration for the receiver there.
I would agree with you on that. And you know, and it feels like that they're calling the play at the line depending on what the formations look like, how the defense steps up and what they're doing at this point. Because they're definitely not going to fall for the, hey, we're going to blitz and leave the center alone at this point.
Same formation here for the Rebels. Quarterback scramble, but she is going to throw it. She's got her over there in the open field, and it's going to be about a 5-yard gain. It looked like that was number 1, Roski Sanders once again.
Should be 3rd down and 9.
I believe so.
If we count that. So when they take over wherever they're based on it. So they were outside the 40. So it doesn't line right back on the 40. So at least the changeover and down on that part. Haven't seen any punts today. Haven't seen any kicks as well.
Right. We did have one attempted punt, but the ball was
Yes.
fumbled on the snap. And as we talked about earlier, any fumbles are an automatic dead ball.
Interesting. I'm reading forfeit scores. It's 28-0 as the forfeit score. So part of me thinks Atlanta Storm forfeited.
Oh.
Based on their schedule.
Big pass downfield, nearly intercepted, but AOA unable to come away with the interception. That's a couple of times where AOA has had one in the hands, but unable to come away with the interception. And it's kept the Rebels in this game. That's going to bring up the 4th and 9. Referees getting together to talk about something.
You doing Applebee's or O'Charlie's? I think we'll go to Applebee's. Really? I don't know if I agree with that. Yeah, okay, we'll go to O'Charlie's. Leave me alone. Not doing Chili's again. I told you, not doing Chili's again. They are definitely trying to figure out.
I think it was pass interference or something. Penalty.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like the referee is talking to the coaches as well. Whitecap's like, hey, let's get this in check right now. Everybody wants to have a conversation right now.
Intensity is up out
It
here.
is. Well, it is 7-6. The Rebels are looking for their first win of the season. We do not know AOAs, the athletes of Atlanta. Did they beat the X Factor or not? Not aware of that just yet. So they have not updated that score to see that. I am going to cheat and see if I can find.
But this certainly has not let us down for the game of the week.
No, not at all. I really enjoyed it. You almost want to say the 220 has a lot to live up to right here because we've seen a lot of different pieces. We haven't seen a turnover yet. This would be an opportune time. I would love to, if either team was able to intercept and do a pick six, that would be wonderful to see. There's some frustration going on. The good old-fashioned disadvantages of not being on site to really get an idea of exactly what's going on. I'd be like, hey, DeAndre, run down there and talk to Whitecap. Find out what the argument is. This one that you want them mic'd up to have that.
I can assume it got something to do with the receivers and the DBs because the receivers that keep going into it. And the ref told the coach to go back. Hey.
He was just giving his 2 cents. You know, maybe a quarter, maybe a nickel, maybe a little bit more than 2 cents.
He was just wondering if he's invited to Applebee's.
That's all.
I think he was putting his vote in. He's like, hey, what about Red Lobster? We never go to Red Lobster either. So, yeah.
So they're going to move the ball up here.
They're going to keep possession.
Off the penalty.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, obviously, downside of not being on site, should probably still be third down here since that last play was third and they had a penalty. But we'll have to see what happens after this snap. Slings it out there to be nasty, makes the catch and gets to the 40, gets past the 40 before the flag is pulled off. So I guess it really doesn't matter what down it was before because now it looks like it's going to be a first down for the Rebels as they move the chains. And we have another whistle.
Well, you can feel a little frustration building with AOA. AOA has only had one good drive this this ball game, and they put it together in their first series. And since then, the Rebels kind of have locked down on defense, and offensively, they're putting their second drive together here in the second half. They could lead to a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
We do apologize for the shaking of the cameras. We just know how windy it is, and they're on a tripod trying to make sure they don't get blown away. If you look in the distance, you can see the yellow brick road and understand that there could be a line of witch and a wardrobe involved here because it is definitely windy. No, that's not a Wizard of Oz reference, okay? That's a whole nother reference. I was just blowing your mind here on a Sunday.
Glad to have football back on Sunday, though, Bo.
Oh, man, it's not going to end. We get the whole month of April. The whole month of April doing football. Be great. Whole month of March as well. It's going to be a lot of exciting times here. We got the WNFC about to kick off here, the Women's National Football Conference throughout the country. 17 teams battling it out on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun for football in the spring. High snap.
Able to get it away to one of the offensive linemen up there. Nice little gain there on first down. It's going to set them up well for a second down attempt. Looks like that's number 27 for the Rebels, Anissa Sessions.
I want to do the clock stop for you to put your own flags back on.
No, that's why. And they got right back in, and you can tell that they're concerned about the time right now.
Another high snap, and that one's going to be on the ground, and it is going to be a dead ball for the Rebels.
I blame you, DeAndre, on that one.
She did just catch a pass, so she might be a little tired. That's why,
No.
So that's going to back them way up, and it's going to create a third down and 22 here from the 41. Call it third down and 21.
Just
a lot of distance to cover.
There is. And they're coming.
Right on cue. Looked like that's what they were going for. We got a flag down.
So what are we calling there?
Probably going to be intentional grounding.
when there's players everywhere. I don't know about that. Let's see. Holding on the defense.
Oh, man, that's big.
Interesting.
I tell you one thing, I'm going to take the rule book home with me, get us ready for the next week, because there's a lot of flags, a lot of stuff that I want to understand a little bit more, especially when I opened it up and it was 19 pages. I said, I'll be looking at that next week, not right this second. Let's get this thing rolling.
But DeAndre had the call there. It looked like they were going to try and take another deep shot to be nasty, but she just didn't have the time.
Hence maybe why she was held. Got it out there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's going to be a 10-yard penalty on the holding on the defense.
but
And
not
that'll set up a 3rd down and 11.
much more manageable.
Absolutely.
Yes. They got 2 downs to get to the 20 to reset this with the opportunity to potentially take the go-ahead lead with a score.
Another shot to the right side,
Oh, there
and
we
there's
go.
the interception. Flag is ripped off, so
wow.
they got away with one there, being able to rip that flag quickly. Otherwise, I think that might have gone the other way, all the way. But either way, AOA is going to take over possession and maintain their lead here late, 7-6, and that might have been the dagger right there.
J.K. Walker on the play.
Here we
J.K.
go.
Walker, number 2.
Steps right in front of it. Great
Oh,
hands.
she read her keys perfect. You know, she got in the flats, curl the flats. She got there, made a play.
I'm appreciative of the receiver not getting frustrated that the interception occurred enough to turn around and pull the flag.
Yeah, that was number X, Candace Tip Newry, who was able to make that play for the Rebels to stop them from running that one back. But even so, a beautiful play there from the AOA to take that one literally right out of her hands. It looks like we might have ourselves a kneel down here. Just a simple run, actually.
Into each other almost.
Flag is pulled, but that's going to keep the clock running.
And that's all you want to do right now.
And I think AOA is just waiting for this one to run out here.
I think about a timeout coming.
So right on cue, Bo, just like you were talking about, we had the interception, the turnover, the one thing that we hadn't seen really in this game so far. And like I said, as a former defensive coach, I just love to see a game potentially end on a defensive play like that.
Definitely listen to you on that part. I always like it when it, being this close of a game, it wasn't, and things happen. Defense steps up, offense steps up. Want to just give a special shout out to Mashonda Posh Gilmore, co-owner and founder of the AWFFL, and also Zarek Foster, co-owner and founder of the AWFFL as well. Over 15 years of operation. Thank you so much what you've done with this particular organization, and it's been wonderful to be a part of. I've had an opportunity over the past, realistically, 10 years to know these 2 individuals, and it's been great to be a part of it. I'm glad Score 58 has been able to help out, especially here at Stockbridge.
Handoff on the end around. They're going to be able to pull the flag and keep it at a short gain, maybe 1 yard, maybe no gain. But for the AOA, of course, that's not really what their concern is right now. Their concern is just trying to keep that clock ticking. But the Rebels do seem like they're going to take another timeout. And unfortunately for the AOA, because they weren't able to get very much yardage on the first 2 plays, now the concern then becomes turning the ball over to the Rebels. Obviously, up here in the studio, we don't really know how much time is left.
Well, there is no scoreboard. It's all being held on the ground with refs, so they don't even have the clock. Because if not, I was going to have it zoomed in so we could see the clock. Because I'm definitely curious now if we understand if it's a continuous clock or if it does ever stop. Maybe we could run a clock ourselves to kind of keep that in mind. But are also looking at the score. The next game starts at 2:20, so you kind of have an idea. There is a time limit that they will call the game at a certain point. So they know that realistically the idea of the Rebels getting another possession is minimal, very much so. We'll be curious to see how this plays out here on this down. They've got to get to the 40 to get that first down, and that will definitely end the game in my opinion. But I'm always wrong, so don't worry about that.
Another heavy set here, 5 offensive linemen on the field. Just a single receiver split out wide.
Movement.
False start here, and so that's going to back up the AOA. And so now picking up this first down is going to be even harder after the penalty.
But both these teams fought hard all day today. This is a great game between both these teams.
Definitely for us to open up this and not see a goose egg by both teams, but actually see scoring occur and good offense and good defense. I'm very intrigued by the balls on the ground, 4th down.
They might get the ball on the 10.
You want to hopefully punt right
We'll
now.
have to see if they're going to try to get that punt. Now, the last time they tried it, they were not able to convert. They weren't able to execute on it.
I know earlier the punter got hurt earlier. Did she ever come back?
Number 21?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she came back.
Okay.
We're all trying to figure it out right now in our brains.
Possible timeout. That's what I was thinking, maybe a timeout from AOA to really try and figure out exactly what they want to do here.
To make sure that, one, if you decide to punt, that you get the snap. And that you're able to be able to do that as well. That's going to be important to look at that as well. So right now, based on our calculations, Rebels have 1 timeout. AOA has one timeout remaining as well. Athletes of Atlanta.
But again, depending on what the time is, obviously we can't see what the time is. If you've got something like 3-4 seconds left in this game, maybe you don't even punt. You just you get people around, snap it, try and run around in the backfield for 4 seconds and let the time run out.
The old famous, but the catch is you can't give up safety. So.
Or just throw it deep in.
No.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about defensive.
Go sit in the car.
I throw it straight to a defender because, they think they're making a play. They don't think about it,
I know. Slap
Looks
it down.
like they may be lined up for the punt here,
They definitely are.
Got a car alarm going again.
You got to get all the way to the 40.
Clean snap. And there's the punt.
She flipped the field. Yep.
Be Nasty unable to handle it cleanly. But it is going to put the ball at the 49. So depending on how much time the Rebels have, they may be able to put the ball down the field here quickly and try and take a shot here at the end of the game.
Great punt. She flipped the field for her team, so she put the team in the good field on position.
I wonder if on punts we'll have to take a look at the rules here.
You're not allowed to rush.
19-page rule book. They didn't take off on the snap either on the punt team, so they had to wait until the kick was away.
Will definitely make you rethink. And they were trying to set up a return, a wall and everything. You hate that I was hoping to at least see that, and it's hard to catch that punt, especially in the wind. The ball be moving left and right, coming across off of a foot.
Ball at the 49. Time is almost out here in our game of the week between the Athletes of Atlanta and the Rebels. And we'll see if the Rebels can score here at the end of the game to try and take the win. Deep shot downfield, intercepted by the Athletes of Atlanta, and that, I think, is going to ice it. Returned all the way back to the 50 is where they are going to take over possession. And with time winding down here, I think that's probably just about going to do it for the Athletes of Atlanta. 7-6 they lead as we have time ticking down here at the end of the game.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes getting ready for the second game of our doubleheader. I'm Bo McMichael with Alex Schaefer and DeAndre Wise here on the Score 58 Network. We'll see you back here soon.
Live is the place to be for quality broadcast for you to see. They deliver prime coverage like Amazon. No matter what day of the week you see them on, you don't need